So, it's another day and another reaction video. I'm not sure why I'm still doing reaction videos for, because let's face it, not many people will last 10 seconds watching a reaction video of mine whenever they click on it. But anyway, I might as well just get this video over and done with. This is the Bridge Horror Story animated by Llama Arts, and the link to the original video will be in the description box. So, without further ado, let's get right to it, shall we?
So this story takes place when I was about 16 years old. At my school, I played for the volleyball team, and every year we would go to a camp and do volunteer work for this guy. The camp was in the middle of nowhere. When we got to the camp, we immediately started to work until 8 p.m. This was around October, so...
Around October time? Yeah, not only that the nights get darker, but also it gets a lot more spookier.
It was already dark at 8. My two friends and I were sitting around the fire, trying to figure out something we could do so we weren't so bored. We heard...
In case you're wondering, this is a bacon butty, for those of you that don't know.
That there was a small river down the hill from the camp, and we thought we could check it out. The problem was that it was some guy's property, and the owner of the camp told us to not disturb him since the guy was a little strange. We weren't really supposed to leave the camp, but being 16 years old, we loved breaking the rules. We walked about 10 minutes from the camp and finally reached the river. It was bigger than we expected, and there was a large wooden bridge that crossed it. The bridge was about 20 feet long and was big enough to let a truck go over it. My two friends and I decided to go under the bridge and check it out. As we were walking by the shoreline, we saw two headlights off in the distance moving towards the bridge.
Oh, well, you're in trouble.
So we bolted underneath them and hid. We then heard the truck roll over our heads.
That's what the guys in crazy.
Side. My friends and I chilled there for a while, just talking and throwing rocks in the water. It was about 8:30 at this time, and now it was pretty much pitch black. That's when we started to hear a slow rumble in the distance. The same truck had come back, and this time it was moving much slower.
One of the other businesses I'm editing has finished.
Stifling our laughter. Eventually, the truck moved over the bridge, but rather than going over to the other side, the truck stopped right on top of us.
Yeah, if I was these three, I wouldn't be laughing, because for all I know, that could be the landowner, and for all I know, the guy could be a crazy ass nutcase who might try to call them out saying, "Get your butts out here, I know you're here," or some nonsense like that. Why I think that for? Is because that's probably something I would say.
The only thing you could hear was the rushing water and the hum of the engine. Then, the door of the truck swung open, and out came a loud thump on top of the bridge. Then we heard a loud scream saying, "I know you're out there! I'm gonna find you!" I looked at my friends and they were both shaking in fear. This must have been the crazy property owner, and he seemed pissed that we were on his land. He started screaming and saying he was gonna hurt us if he finds us. We could see that he had a flashlight and he was swinging it around looking for us. We heard loud thumps as he walked around a little bit, calling out for us, and thank God he never went under the bridge.
Yeah, you would have thought that a crazy person would have been smart enough to check under the bridge, but I guess in this situation, that'd be a no.
Eventually, it went silent, and it sounded as if he went back into his truck.
At least he didn't check.
Terrified to move.
Unless he knows they're under the bridge and is going to try and wait them out by going back in his truck. Because if so, then These guys are fucked.
We sat there for about 10 minutes, and then my one friend, who we'll call Trevor, whispered in my ear, saying that we have to go. I gave him a quick nod, and in slow motion we moved out from under the bridge. We started to army crawl on the shoreline of the river, and I remember looking behind me to see the top of the bridge. I saw a white Ford F-150. In the driver's seat was the man, staring right at me with a sinister smile, and he even gave me a little wave. At that moment I screamed and ran. My friend saw me run and took off after me. I could hear screaming from behind us. I took a quick glance behind me and saw that he was chasing after us, and I couldn't quite make out the object in
That's
his
the
hand.
face of a deranged
It seemed to be
madman.
a weapon of some sort. We ran into the forest and ducked behind a bush. It was pitch black in the forest, and we couldn't hear a thing. We sat there for a while, just shaking. The man never walked by us, and we never heard him. After we gathered our courage, we got up and walked back to camp, got into our tents, and tried to fall asleep. The next morning, we talked to the camp owner about the man that owned the property of the river. The camp owner said that he didn't know much about the man, but he knows that he has some mental problems and he'd been accused of assault. I am so happy that we were able to escape from underneath the bridge. I can't imagine what would have happened if he caught us.
I can. But I don't think I'll say it on YouTube because I don't think I'll be allowed to.
Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you would like to support the channel, check out the merch link in the video description.
Okay then. Yeah, if any of you want to check out that merch store that Llama Arts has, then make sure you click on the link in the description box of this video so you can go to the original video on Llama Arts' YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to, and then on the original video you can then click on the link to that merch store thing. And I will admit, part of me is tempted to buy that the Llama Arts mug, because I will admit that does actually kind of look good. So so part of me is tempted to buy one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reaction video. Like, comment, subscribe, and whatnot. And till next time, goodbye for now. Maybe.